Hello, so this is me, George. Great intro. Let's go. So this video is about my coming out experience, and as you could probably guess from the title, it's supposed to be, emphasis on supposed to be, quite a positive experience, which I think is quite important given the current climate, and also as here in London we've got London Pride coming up this year at the beginning of July, end of June time. So it just felt like a good time to actually sit down and do this video. I've been wanting to do it for a while. And it kind of came about because I did an interview on Instagram with the LGBT Chronicles. If you want to check them out, they are a group on Instagram who invite gay people to come and just share their experiences on a platform, which I think is quite amazing, and that people are actually given a voice to discuss their personal experiences, and it's, in my opinion, a great platform that will hopefully help more people come out or know that they're actually not quite as alone as they think. So yeah, the link to that down below, and my interview as well. So let's get started. So when I was first coming to terms with being a gay man, I noticed that I wasn't really, when I was younger, exposed to a lot of the community, and if I was, when I was younger, it was never like discussed in almost any capacity. It wasn't as in like a negative thing, it was just normal, like no one seemed to react to it, and which I think is quite a different way to be growing up. My parents seem to have quite an open mind in that sense. But yes, I had obviously all the usual questions like, how are my parents going to react? Will everything change within the family? Like, will I be shunned? All those things kind of going around in your head, and it can get a bit like, well, most people will know what it's like. It can be a bit overwhelming, and things, you start to just kind of go into yourself and you don't feel yourself. But in terms of change, like if everything would change, it did like massively change. In a way that my whole family dynamic now is completely different, in the fact that I feel I have such a better relationship with my family, especially my parents, since coming out and telling them. They were so supportive, and even now are continuing to support me in my decisions. Part of me is like, I think they always knew, because stereotypically I'm a dancer. I trained from a young age, so that's possibly a telltale sign, but they weren't ever like, oh, you're definitely. But yes, and the only negative to come out was when my brother took offence, but only in the fact that he was the last to know. He didn't care. It was just, he wondered why I hadn't told him first. And same with my grandmother, my aunt and uncle, my cousin. They were just all completely supportive. Like there was nothing wrong, and like nothing changed dynamically, but everything seemed a bit more open. Like there was a lot more freedom, and yeah, I feel I got closer to every single person in my family because of this. I wasn't having to hide anything. I could fully be myself and not worry about, oh, if I do this, will it come across this way? And I love my family for that. Like, I'm extremely lucky, as I know that a lot of times, or you hear a lot of times, that people have been shunned, they've been pushed out of their families, sometimes they don't see their families anymore, and it's a horrendous thing to consider that other people, especially families, could treat one another like that. But in terms of friendships as well, my relationship with my friends have just changed a lot, because I was born in London, but I moved to Devon 2008 and did my secondary school training there, and then moved away And I've lost, obviously you lose contact with a lot of friends, but all the friends I have now, from then, that time, we're just ridiculously close, and it would never bother them. And again, I suppose it's because I was extremely lucky maybe to have such an open circle and people that actually didn't seem to care. Now I live in London again, and it's such an amazing city to be young, growing up, exploring things, especially in the LGBT community. There is just such a massive community here. From any angle you can think of, it exists basically. You just need to look hard enough. And there's so many things going on all the time, like every day there's something that celebrates or brings people together. And I think it's actually an extraordinary city to be able to do that. And there's so many other little sub-communities within the LGBT community, which I think, again, just touches on all the angles that everyone's different, but everyone has taste and hobbies and stuff like this, but they celebrate it in a way that's like cohesive and holistic. There is also so many interesting people. Like you get the campaigners, you get the people you meet up just on nights out, random people that you just speak to, and you draw on all their experiences and their lives, and there's people from so many backgrounds, so many other countries here, and it's almost like the pool of the world is just coming together in London, which sounds ridiculously cheesy, I know. I just love it here. There is, at the moment, there's nowhere else I'd rather want to live. It's just amazing. Touching on that also, there's a group I started last year, meeting up with. It's they're called the LDN Gaymers, so they're a group of gay gamers. And I was a little bit nervous about going in, because I'm not a gamer really at all. Now I think they've kind of changed that, but even if you're not, it's an amazing social thing. They meet up every month, and it's just, you just meet so many different people, and especially like training and dance, you kind of meet a lot of people. For 3 years you're stuck in this kind of bubble of people that share almost exactly the same interests as you, because you're all driving towards the same goal. But then stepping out into this straight after graduating, it was just nice to meet loads of people that have other experiences and other hobbies or interests, and just sharing that in one thing, even though it's based on gaming, it's just so much more than that. It's just basically bringing together of people with common ground, with no judgment, and I think that that's an exceptional thing. So I hope this helped, or been interesting or vaguely interesting. I really wanted to put across the fact that coming out, although it's put across as a really daunting thing and it's a lot of negativity comes from it, that there's also the flip side. So there's also people like me that have experienced an extremely positive experience, and I wouldn't have changed that for the world. And also just to say that no one is ever really alone, and I know I said a lot about London being an amazing city, that there's so many people. The fact that there's so many people, you can also feel quite alone, but you never actually are. There's always people that you can talk to. There's always people that will support you and look after you. But yeah, it would be really nice if in the comments below you could leave a positive experience or your own positive experience from coming out. I think it'd be really nice if we could get, a bit of a spitball going, just maybe create a pool of things that celebrates the positive aspects of coming out and celebrating being a member of the LGBT community. That would be absolutely amazing. So thank you for staying this long if you have. And yeah, hopefully I'll have more things coming out soon. Hopefully see you there. Bye bye guys.